Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Parenting Business, the podcast for owners of businesses that also have kids or people that are managing business. We're going to crack straight on with the show this week. So I'll say hello to Ben. How are you?
Hello, listeners, and yes, welcome to the show, which is, let me try and get the bit of feedback we had right, marginally less painful than doing your VAT return.
Are we going to hang on to that for the rest of eternity or until we hear something better?
We're going to hang on to all the feedback for eternity and by all means replace it. Well, we already have had better, haven't we, a little bit? What was it?
We have.
I forget now, it's a few weeks ago. The most uninspiring thing one person's ever listened to, even at 1.5 times speed, that one.
I know, but...
Quite enjoyed that one.
let's get on with the show, because we've got a guest joining us this week, or we did an interview with this guest a little while ago.
We did. What's his name?
Really interesting. His name is Shane.
Shane. Oh. Carry on.
And we will have a chat with him in a bit. But firstly, let's look at our regular highs and lows. So talk to me about your lows of this last week.
Staff absence.
Again,
I've had 1 week since New Year with everybody in, and that week we smashed it. I was so happy. And fuck me, we get there this morning and 2's off. So it could be worse. It has been worse, but we're quite busy now, and it's just, for fuck's sake, driving me mental. Yeah, things are changing. We've had a couple of chats about it, and someone's had a disciplinary, and someone's having a conversation soon. Is your health up to this job, or should we have to make other arrangements? Because we've not let anybody down badly or anything, but we're not impressing them either, and we should be further in front in terms of output out the door, stock on the shelf, money in the bank. We should be further in front than where we are. So we're through being disappointed. Now we're a bit pissed off.
Yeah.
High-wise, I've got a couple, and again, these are both fairly lower echelons in the highs, but it's particularly nice. Two things. One is you're a highlight, because you spoke to me the other day and said 1,400 people listened to this in the last 4 weeks.
Oh no, I think we're up to I think 2,000 interactions now in the last 30 days.
I mean, an interaction is anything from a like to someone who's looked at it for 30 seconds or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah.
But 2,000, who'd have thought we'd be there after a couple of months of dicking around? I'm well happy with
crazy.
That. And the other thing that's nice, sorry to cut you off, we're just conscious of waffling and stuff, but the other thing that's nice is we planted a load of flowers in our garden with the twins, October, November, and
nice.
they started sprouting a couple of weeks ago, but daffodils are starting to open up and flower. So that feeling of accomplishment, that feeling of doing it as a family, that was lovely. So they're my highs and lows for this week.
That's awesome. How have the girls reacted to seeing that? Because I'm guessing that's quite a proud moment for them.
Yeah, you know that feeling when your children's face just almost amazement and achievement and accomplishment. It's like, oh, wow, Daddy, there's another one started. You know, that excitement that they had, that was very nice. So, yeah, that's got to be one of my highs.
That's pretty awesome. I like it. I like that. That's a really good high. The low,
it's lovely. It's so nice.
You know what? Staffing
5
is
weeks
always
out of the last 6, my low has been fucking staff.
Yeah.
Anyway, must be your turn. Go on. What have you ballsed up and achieved?
What have I ballsed up and what have I achieved? Lows, we've not really had a low as such. Yeah. There's been a couple of challenging things kind of relationship wise over the last sort of week or so. I'm not going to go into details, but long distance relationships can be difficult, particularly when you can't support each other in the way that maybe you ordinarily could if you were together. Yeah, so that's been challenging over the past couple of weeks, because there's been some support needed, and either I've not been able to give it or I've not been able to receive it in the way that traditionally you'd expect. So that's been challenging. I think high wise, don't know. We seem to be work wise. We're getting places. We're getting stuff done. We're finishing off jobs. We do a lot of our business at this time of year for Crufts, biggest dog show on the planet.
Yes.
We have a few customers that are there. We have customers that need to stock up for it because it's a big event for them. The challenge always is that they don't have the cash as a small business to necessarily pay for the stock beforehand. So we kind of cash flow them a little bit, which I've got to change because it does put a strain on us, particularly in January and February, because we don't get paid for it until March. But we've kind of got to the end of that now. That's literally finished today. We've got all of that done, ready to go, ahead of schedule, and with lower staff than we've had before. In previous years, we had more staff and I reduced headcount, and we've still managed to do it, and we've still done it on time. As far as I'm aware, we've had no quality assurance failures or anything like that. So I'm really pleased with that. That's a big high for me. And the other high was I heard and I was told that my daughter went to her second football session, which I was a
Spoke
little
about
bit
this
nervous
on the
around.
last one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a bit nervous around because of the fact that my daughter tends to try things out. She's of that age. They try things out, they decide they don't like them, and they don't want to go back. Well, she went with her mum. She seemingly enjoyed it, according to what her mum said. So
Good.
I'm really positive about that. I'm hoping that
Mm.
football's going to be her thing. So yeah, that's my high. Although I did learn something, two things this week, which I'm going to use as top tips for anybody listening. The first one is I've had a challenge with my daughter. Sometimes comes in when she's with me at kind of 1 o'clock in the morning, because at this time of year in the winter, it's still dark even when she usually gets up at sort of 6:30, 7 o'clock. Now, I've kind of said to her, how come you come in at 1 o'clock in the morning and climb into bed with me? And it transpires that she doesn't realise that it's not morning yet. She doesn't know whether it's time to get up or not because it's dark. So I spoke to my sister about
I've got
this.
something gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to my sister about this, and her immediate response was, you need something called a Lumi sunrise light.
That's it.
Have you heard of these?
Got one. Well, as is more of a clock, you set the times, and when it reaches 6:30, the night light changes from blue to orange.
Ah, okay.
And my twins literally, not always, but quite often, they'll come as soon as it's 6:30 because clock's turned to orange, Daddy, time to get up.
Yeah.
So they've been sat there for however long, waiting for it. Yeah.
I didn't really know about these. Mine's slightly different. The ones I found, they actually light up with a picture of either the moon or the sun.
Or the sun. That's it.
They've got a nightlight on as well, or it's got a nightlight on as well, and you can set the different colours, and it can also play lullabies and so on and so forth, and put timers and things on. But it's brilliant. It's really, really good. I'm super impressed by it, actually. So I'm hoping that that's going to help her because she's fine sleeping in her own bed. Unless she's ill or something. Top tip: if you haven't got one already, because I certainly didn't know about them, get your child a Lumi sunrise light. I got them on everybody's favourite online marketplace with next day delivery. So yeah, that was one. The other top tip: I discovered what happens if you put custard that comes in Tetra Pak in a microwave. I thought, Tetra Pak's microwavable, isn't it?
No idea. I won't know.
Ordinarily, I'd say it is. But what I didn't realise was that the custard that comes in the cartons, in the Tetra Pak cartons, actually has got tin foil in it. So I put this open tub of custard. I thought, I'll just, I'm only heating up the remnants of the custard. So I'll just chuck it in the microwave in its container that it came in. About 20 seconds in, I could hear lots of popping and banging. Looked into the microwave and saw lots of flashes of orange as I discovered that the Tetra Pak was smouldering and sparking away. and causing lots of singeing. So
the consumer advice section in our podcast.
Yeah, don't stick Tetra Pak custard packets into the microwave because you might burn your house down.
Read the bloody packaging, you thick twat, same as everybody else, and then you won't put it in the microwave. That's the consumer advice. Read the package and find out if it says not suitable for microwaves. And then you'd avoid such excitement.
I'm actually going to go and read the packet.
Read the packet.
And see if it says not suitable. Hold on. Wait there.
Wait
there for 2 seconds. Wait there for 2 seconds.
Hurry up, I'm an important, busy man. Here we go, listeners. This will be fun, won't it?
I have just been to my cupboard.
Do you want to hold it up to the camera in case you're struggling to read, Puppet?
I'm just reading. Might be backwards. Right, I'm just reading. So it says it's microwavable, but it does say empty carton contents into a non-metallic container.
There you go. Top tip consumer advice this week. Read the fucking packet before you microwave it.
It doesn't say that you can't put the packet itself into the microwave. It doesn't actually tell you, although I have only just noticed you can see just onto the bottom that there is a bit of silver on it, on the seal, and that was the bit that kind of started to spark and
special kind of stupid, was going to burst into flames. It says it on the packet.
So yeah, top tip.
Read
don't
the
be like
packet.
me and don't be like me and don't be fucking stupid.
That's the one.
Thinking that you can just chuck it in a microwave.
You'd get on very well with one of my tenants. We had a call out because the extractor fan stopped working. And the electrician, who's actually my brother, thankfully, although I don't tell him that, phoned me up afterwards and said, "Is he a bit special or what?" I says, "Why?" He says, "The extractor fan's working exactly as it should be." I said, "What's gone off then? Why has he reported it?" And he went, "Because there's two, and the old one was disconnected because it's no longer regulation to have it where it was. But instead of filling in the hole and tiling it over, it acts as a second vent. So obviously previous owner to us has left it in. So that's the one that's not working." I says, "What, the one that's disconnected?" "Yeah." I says, "Right. So the other one's working fine." He says, "As it should be." And the tenant goes, "Well, it gets a bit steamy in here." The electrician says, "Well, everyone's bathroom gets a bit steamy. Open the window." It cost me a call-out charge if it wasn't my brother. Still cost me a call-out charge, to be fair, although it's not going to be as loaded up as it otherwise could have been. Basic common sense. Read the packet before you cook it.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that. Lesson learned, and luckily I didn't blow the microwave up.
End of the day, you live on your own. I'd have burnt my house down by now if I lived on my own. I'm completely liable. Anyway, moving on. Why are your thumbs smaller than your big toes, but your fingers are longer than the rest of your toes? That's the question of the week, listeners. Why are your fingers bigger than your toes, but your big toe is bigger than your thumb?
What?
If there's anybody listening now not measuring their thumbs and big toes, I'll be surprised. Well, if there's anybody listening, I'll be surprised. But if you are listening, it's like we're saying pink elephant, pink elephant, pink elephant. What's on your mind? Fucking pink elephant. But everyone's now taking the socks off trying to measure their toes with their thumbs. I did.
Hold on, my thumbs are bigger than my big toes.
No, they're not. Line it up. Literally, right, this is what you pay your license fee for, isn't it, viewers? Look, literally, look, your thumb, your big toe.
I'm trying to lift.
Yeah. No, look, right.
My thumb is bigger than my big toe.
No, it isn't. That's your thumb. That's your big toe. Your big toe is massive.
Are you talking the width or the length?
Whichever way you want to measure it, baby.
Sorry,
Your big toe is bigger than your thumb. If that's the case, why are your fingers bigger than all your other toes? That was a question from a 4-year-old. Fuck's sake,
okay, so we're not talking length, we're talking girth.
Width gives better gratification, by all accounts. I wouldn't know that one. That is the question from a 4-year-old. Why are your fingers bigger than your toes, but your big toe is bigger than your thumbs?
Okay.
Where'd she get some of this from, man? She's 4.
I'll ponder that.
Ponder that?
No idea.
No. Listeners, write in. Not a clue.
And if you do want to write in to us podcast at parentingbusiness.com.
Why are your thumbs smaller than your big toe? There we are. I didn't get me on. out this week. I got my big toe out.
Well,
I'm building up to it.
I didn't want to see your ass this week, so I don't want to see your ass any week.
You got my big toe instead.
So moving on, we had a chat with Shane from
what's his name? Shane.
Fitzmark Workwear. So let's move on and let's have an interview with him. We are joined today by Shane Fitzgerald from Fitzmark Workwear. Shane, hi, welcome. How are you doing today?
All right, how are you doing? Very well, thank you.
Good. So tell me a little bit about Fitzmark Workwear, you know, your business and your life a little bit leading up to it.
So we are Fitzmark Workwear, so we've got a retail shop over in Eastwood. We are the biggest workwear stockist in the East Midlands, and we mainly deal with businesses, business to business, plumbers coming in, buying all the gear in here, but we also do uniforms as well. So we go into big factories and do kit them out head to toe, embroidery, printing, etc. Started out 22, 23 years ago now. Myself and Mark, my business partner, we both used to work for my dad in the textile industry. So I've only ever worked for myself and my dad. And Mark worked for my dad. We got together at my dad's place and then just decided to start this up. And yeah, it's going from strength to strength. It's really, really good. So I think we need to do a bit more, as in it's only a family-run business. We're at a point now as a business where we could really, really go big. But we don't want to really get anyone else involved. We just want to grow gradually and do it ourselves. We're at a point now where we don't really do any advertising, so we're going to start advertising a bit more, and I think the business will grow massive, like through social media, etc. So if you need any workwear, no, Fitzmark.
So that's work. Tell me about kind of personal life, becoming a parent, becoming a dad. When did that start? Tell us about kind of how many kids have you got, ages, that sort of thing.
Okay, so I've got 3 kids. One, eldest, 25. She's my stepdaughter. Brought her up probably since the age of 8 or 9, but she's severely autistic, ADHD, quite a few problems. And she's only got the brain of a 6-year-old kind of thing. So she'll be with us forever, I think. She'll always be living at home with us. She does have things to do with her dad, so dad's still involved as well. So that's good. And she goes to see her dad quite often. So my other kids would get a break, and my missus gets a break. She's quite hard work. She's quite intense. So I've got 2 other kids at 13. I should know this, shouldn't I? At 12 and 10. Nearly 13, I think she is. And yeah, they're all good, get on well with Katie. They have quite a bit of, Katie's quite intense sometimes, so they get left out a little bit, but it's good that Katie's involved with her dad, so they do get a little bit of a break and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, been with my wife about, I don't know, I should know this as well, I don't know, 15, 16 years, something like that, maybe more, married. Yeah, that's it. I don't know the actual dates, which is bad, isn't it? And how many years, but yeah, a long time anyway, put it that way.
I think you're kind of typical male, though, Shane, in that most men don't know exactly when they got together necessarily. They forget their anniversary. Men are often very distracted and not as connected emotionally to that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. And my wife would tell you that as well.
It was only an episode or 2 ago, Stu, you picked me up for the whole Valentine's lack of knowledge and why don't I bother very hard and all that kind of thing. So it's definitely a married bloke thing. I want to pick you up, Shane, on something you said, if that's all right. Yeah, you mentioned the word just a family business.
Yeah.
Just family business. For me, family businesses are the best ones because they all think long term. You've mentioned about growing steadily as opposed to, if it's not a family business, quite often too many risks are taken and it has all sorts of consequences. So, yeah, I just want to pick up on the word just. You don't feel somewhat inferior because you're a family business, do you? Or do you?
Probably, yeah. Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably my mental. It's probably my mental thing, really. You know, because you've got in this game, there's a lot of big businesses, corporate businesses, doing millions and millions of pounds worth of turnover, which we're not. But we've steadily grown over 22, 23 years. Yeah, probably do think I'm a little bit. We do think we're a little bit inferior in some ways, as in we haven't got salesmen knocking on doors and nice big glossy websites and all that kind of thing. But we do a job and we do it well. And yeah, we probably do put ourselves, by saying just probably do put ourselves down a little bit, to be fair, because we are a successful business. And yeah, should probably bring that up a little bit more, to be fair. But I think that's just a mental thing from me.
Yeah, because
more control. You know what I mean?
Control. Yourselves, I imagine,
in a
would give a better
control.
service. I'd imagine you'd give a better service than the Arcos of the world, or the as you say, the bigger firms, the screw fixers, who might have salesmen, might have flashy websites, but the customer's a number you don't really give two hoots about. Whereas with yourself, I would imagine everybody gets looked after a lot more. That's why you get so much repeat business. So I just thought I'd mention that one. Yeah, it's, for me, a family business is a plus.
Yeah. And that's probably lost, like I say, a mental thing for me. I'm just saying just. It's probably just put ourselves down a little bit. You know what I mean? Because it's all us. We do, as you know, if you run your own business, I know Stu does. It's hard. It's hard work. You're doing everything, aren't you? We're
bloody hell, mate.
Literally everything, and nobody's working for you.
Shout that you're a family business because it shows that you care.
Yeah. Probably should do that. Yeah, shout about it a bit more, to be fair. But yeah, I think it's that. That's probably just a mental thing for me, really. Staying just. And I think we do probably put ourselves down a little bit compared to these bigger companies that are out there. I'll say bigger companies, supposedly bigger companies, with all the flash cars and salesmen and all that kind of stuff. We just go along doing what we do, and we are getting bigger and bigger, picking up bigger customers. So yeah, probably big ourselves up. Cheers for that, Ben.
Yeah, no, you big yourself up. Definitely big yourself up, because you're comparing yourself to these global multinationals, whereas really the main comparison you want, that I have in me, and I think people should have more, isn't outsiders you've never met, but yourself last year. How do you compare with yourself, your mental model, your whether it's your balance sheet, your lifestyle, your hobbies, whatever? Where do you compare on you a year ago? That's all that matters, that you're making progress as you, not competing with Screwfix or whatever.
No. I'd like to... What, balance of life as well? Or...
It's a general point, I suppose. I'm waffling on a general point. I think when I compared myself to others and I strove for things, it didn't necessarily end well. Whereas my planning section now is more about just be a better version of me next year, as opposed to try and compete with the bigger firms out there. And I don't know, I guess it's more an observation on how people differ as opposed to anything else.
Yeah, we try to be a little bit different, but again, more personal. More personal. We invite people down here. We're more face to face. Again, like I deal with a customer from start to finish, like literally from a phone call. You know, when you ring up the likes of these big companies, you go in. If you ring them up, you passed on from person to person, then a salesman, then this person, then invoicing. I deal with the whole lot. So you know what I mean? From the very first phone call till the sending the invoice or dealing with a problem with a payment or something, it's all me. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the real difference between the bigger companies, or so-called bigger companies, and us, I suppose.
And Shane, dealing with all of those things in the business, doing that sort of stuff, how do you manage to fit in family life as well? How do you balance that? What do you split kind of between yourself and your wife? Because you're a football coach as well, aren't you?
It's difficult, very difficult. Yeah, my wife would like me to be at home a little bit more, but as you know, when you work for yourself, no one else is going to do it. You've got to get it done yourself, haven't you? I try my best to spend as much time with my family. I mean, my normal typical life is I finish work, go home, take my kids to a club while my wife's cooking the tea or bathing another one or whatever, or sorting out while they're doing the homework or sorting out Katie, and then I come in about 8 o'clock, 8:30, have dinner late or whatever. It is very, very difficult. And I know myself, I should try spend a bit more time with my wife. I don't spend enough time with my wife, 100%, 100%. And that's something in the future that I am going to try harder to leave it a little bit. When it is a family-run business, getting back to that, like I say, nobody's going to do it for you. But me and Mark have got kind of a plan. As we get a bit older, we want to not semi-retire, but just do less hours. Maybe go down to 4 days a week instead of doing 6 days a week, and spend a bit more time with our partners. I try to spend as much time with my kids as possible. Like I say, every night I'm doing something with them, a club or another. My boy plays football on Saturdays and Sundays. I try to go to his Saturday games when I'm off work. Obviously, I can't make all of them because I'm at work. And then on Sunday, I coach one of his teams, which I enjoy. But even that has its pressures as well, because when you're a coach, you're there an hour or half an hour before everyone else, half an hour at least, 45 minutes after. Phone calls between me and the other coach. We're going to an award ceremony this weekend, and it's just like phone calls and admin for the team and stuff. So again, that even puts its strains on mine and my wife's relationship sometimes, because she's like, and she's got a point, I'm at work all day, and then I'm spending time with my boy, but then you're coaching, and that's taking up a couple more hours of your time each week, you know what I mean? And really, realistically, I should be going out for a meal with her.
Yeah.
I probably need to do more of that, and I'm aware of it as well. And I'm trying my best to get that done. My kids are getting older now. Hopefully, we can leave them at be for an hour or two or whatever, you know what I mean, and try and spend a bit more time with wife, because it is difficult, as you probably both know yourselves. Yeah, that's one thing that I don't like about running my business. I sometimes wish to myself that I had a normal job, didn't work for myself, where you just go home, go out for a meal or whatever, you know what I mean? And even when you're on holiday, getting phone calls constantly or emails, replying to emails, it is annoying for them. I can understand it as well.
I get that entirely. As you've been describing your experience there, I'm sat here thinking, when was the last time me and my wife did something just us?
Yeah, don't say that, mate. Jeez.
Yeah.
If my
and as I'm sat here,
like...
well, as I'm sat here, I can't actually remember. And well, with you saying what you've done, I can tell you when the next time will be, because I'll be nagged to book it in when this goes out. But as I should be, and as we will do something. But listeners, I should imagine most of us will have that at some point or another.
Oh, right, yeah. Whether you work
That's going to be a very,
not.
very common thing. Yeah, any stressful employment, I suppose.
And I'm a huge advocate of spending time with your wife, with your partner, and making that time for it, because I've been through a relationship that broke down partly because of me spending so much time at work and the stresses of work, and us taking it out on each other. So I've kind of got to the end of that point, and it has negatively affected a relationship. And this is why when I chat to you, Ben, and I've said the same to you before as well, Shane, that spending time or making time just for you guys, I think, is really, really important, even if it is just date night once a month after the kids have gone to bed.
I'm nodding, but we don't do it. You know what I mean? I know I am trying to make a point of it, because we've had numerous rows over the years that, we just don't do it enough. And again, like, you've got to make time, haven't you? Like, you can use all the excuses in the world. Like you just said, your kids can go to bed and you can go and have a date night for a couple of hours, can't you? You can do it. It's just about making that time and being aware of it. And as a bloke, sometimes I'm not aware of it, but my missus makes me aware of it, because she tells me I need a bit of time. I need to do something on my own. I need to do something with you. Even going for a walk. just for a couple of hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can spend a bit of time, have a chat, rather than coming in, what you doing? I'm going for a bath. Isla's got to do this. Jack's got to do that. What club are they going to, etc. Just going for a walk and having a chat, generally. Don't do enough of that, neither. You know what I mean? Just sitting down with your wife.
Right.
We're really, yeah, I know I should be. And it's something I'm aware of and I need to try and do more of, to be fair. Because it doesn't...
And how...
Go on.
Sorry, Shane. And how much do you speak to your wife about your business? Does your wife know kind of details of what's going on in your business? Do you do it to try and help her understand?
No, my wife works for me, to be fair. 3 days a week. 3 days a week. And I've only ever worked for my dad, and my mum used to work there. Again, it was a bigger business than mine, but a family-run business as well. And I've seen it through growing up and working with my mum and my dad. My dad used to come home and talk about work, and my mum was talking about work, and this had gone on at work, and it's not a very good atmosphere to grow up in. Like, I was working for my dad, my mum was working there, my dad was working there. You come home and you're talking about work, it's not good. And you're having arguments about work.
Yeah.
So I make a point, and this sounds really weird. My wife works for me, but I don't talk to her at work. I only talk to her what I need to talk to her about work. I don't have breaks with her. I don't have a cup of tea with her at work. And I do that on purpose because I don't want to... I want to try and separate work and home life. You know what I mean? It doesn't always happen,
Yeah.
but I do that for a reason. She knows that as well, and she's happy with that. She just cracks on, does her work herself, puts her AirPods in, cracks on at work, has her own breaks with some of the staff here and everything. And again, I don't have breaks with her or anything, but I find it works more because if she's too involved with the business, that's when our argument starts about, oh, so-and-so is doing this, or I think you should do this. I just tell her to leave it at work. We do have conversations about the business, but she doesn't really get involved with it and saying you should do this and should do that. She kind of leaves it to me. And probably because I've had that discussion with her beforehand and just says, look, don't get involved with the business. You're getting a job out of it, kind of thing. We're kind of working together, but don't bring it home, basically. I don't want it brought home because I've grown up with it and it's not a good atmosphere to be in.
Yeah.
So she knows enough about the business, but not the details of everyday payments and finances and stuff like that, which she wouldn't want to know anyway, to be fair.
But what about the stresses that you might be under because of certain things happening in the business? Do you talk to her about how certain things in the business are affecting you at any particular point in time? For example, if you've had a good day or if you've had a bad day because something's happened, not for her to come up with a solution, but just so that she can understand pressures and things that you're under.
I'll be honest with you, I don't really show it. I'm not very switched on to... My wife suffers from mental health, so she's got anxiety and stuff like that, right? And I'll be honest with you, I don't really understand mental health a lot. I really don't. I can't get to grips with it, whether it's a bad thing or a good thing. My wife will worry about something, and I think to myself, why are you worried about that? Like, just if something happens, I'll worry about it. I'm quite a positive person like that. Quite a laid back person. And I do get worried, but I probably keep it all to myself. But I'm not really a massive worrier, if you know what I mean. I don't... You probably, when you speak to me, you probably wouldn't know if I had a good day or a bad day. You wouldn't.
Right.
Because I don't really show it. Where my wife is the total opposite. She worries about everything. So I suppose not discussing the business and finances and stuff like that, because if I did, as you both know, if you run your own business, sometimes it can get a bit tight, can't it? And she'd be worried sick about stuff like that. But yeah, I don't really let it affect me. I find it difficult to understand mental health sometimes about certain things. I totally understand mental health for really, really bad things, but it's not coming out very well, this isn't.
No, I know what I mean. Anxiety is a very broad subject, and at what point do we go, stop worrying about that, it's nothing, to fucking hell, I've got big problems you have. I don't know the answer either, by the way. So we can be lambasted and chastised together with the reviews that we're going to likely pot we've just stirred. But the point is, stress it's relative as well, isn't it? So some people stress about. I stress about a lot less now, given the experiences that I've been through, because I've been through worse than where I am now. So it's kind of water off a duck's back. One couple of things just to sort of mention is how you are in you when you say you bottle everything up and you don't let it out. Do you worry that one day it's just going to go bang? So we've been bottling it up for that long.
No, I honestly,
not much chance of that.
I'm sure everybody's got a breaking point, and I'm sure there is a point where you can, but I don't really. I don't like to. My mum's not very well at the minute. Really, not very well.
Oh dear. Sorry to hear that.
And I don't like asking her about what she's going through. You know what I mean? I just don't really want to hear it, and I'll deal with it when it comes to a point where I need to deal with it. But at the minute, I'm just enjoying my time with her, and that's it. That's what I mean by probably positive, more positive. I know there's gonna become a point where it's not going to be very positive. That might be my breaking point. I don't know, but I don't.
You don't
really
get
like,
there, do you?
Yeah. I don't really like talking about negative things. I just don't. But like I say, my wife, she really suffers from mental health. And I've had a couple of friends that suffered badly from mental health. So I do see the side, and I do see how people suffer, and I can see when my wife's down, not as much as I should, but I tend to see it a little bit more because through experience of others around me that have had it. You know what I mean? I don't get it totally. I really don't. But I just try to be there for them, basically. But me personally, no, it don't really stress me out. I was more worried when I first started the business. But as we're like 22, 23 years in, I just think to myself, what could happen? If something happens,
that's
it
a
happens.
good innings.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't look old enough to be running a place for 22 years.
Cheers,
but that is I'm trying to flatter you. That is a good point, I suppose. Been around the block, honestly, as it were, as it is.
Yeah, that's how I think of it. Like, if I've run a successful business for 22, 23 years, I can't remember the actual date. That's why I keep saying 22, 23. It's no. If anything went wrong, I'm going to carry on running it like we've always run it. It's not just me, by the way, it's Mark as well. Carry on like we always have done. And if something happens out of my control, it happens, doesn't it? I'll deal with that when it happens again. I'm not going to worry about it now. I'd like to think, well, I know we're in a better position than when we first started. The first few years are really, really hard and very difficult. So I'd like to think we're in a far better position now. So yeah, I don't really let things worry me like that, to be fair. Me and Mark, we don't rape this business. We get a good living. Both got nice houses and stuff like that, but we don't take loads and loads of money out of it. You know what I mean? We're here for the long term. That's what we're trying. We're just trying to make a living till we retire. That's it. You know what I mean? And that's all we're trying to do. And I think, well, we're halfway there, aren't we? So that's all I can say.
The retirement age keeps going up, doesn't it? I don't know how long we're going to go.
Oh, yeah.
But no, good for you, mate. Yeah.
And you mentioned that you've been through some pretty challenging times, personally and in business and that sort of stuff. What's been the kind of most challenging situation for you, and how did you get through it? You seem to have had a lot go on in your life that's tested you.
I don't know. I don't think I have, to be fair.
Okay. Well, you've got a daughter that's got additional needs. That must have created some quite challenging times. You said it's been challenging at times between you and your wife because of how much you're working on the business and the stresses that it puts on that. You've then got 2 other children, and you've got the stresses of running business. So I'm guessing there's been some really difficult times in the past, but you're still here. So you've obviously done something right.
Well, yeah, I suppose there has been challenging times, but I look at it as like everyone's got some kind of challenges, whether you work for yourself or not. I suppose loads. If you've got kids, well, kids it's hard work, isn't it? It is just hard work. Katie is hard work. She's lovely. The autistic one, she's lovely, but she's gave us a bit of trouble over the years. But she's obviously it's not her fault. It's more the other kids get left out a little bit, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because of that. But I just look at it as like everyone's got the challenges, haven't they? If you've got normal kids, so-called normal kids, I like saying that, disabled kids, there's always, the way I look at it, there's always someone worse off. And like with having Katie, she's dead funny and she's mentally disabled, but she's able-bodied. And then I've got some of her friends, and you feel for their parents, and they've got cerebral palsy, and they're having to get lifted into baths and stuff like that, and wheelchairs and operations, and you just look at them, you think, we're not that bad off, are we? Really, you know what I mean? Like I look at them and I feel like we're okay. You know what I mean? Like, there's always someone. That's my way of thinking. There's always someone worse off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Than me. So again, I suppose that is pretty positive way of thinking. I never really thought of it a positive thing, but it probably is, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, we had a time in hospital when our twins were born, but in comparison to half the others on the ward, we were nothing.
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from.
And at those times when, or maybe you've not reached those times when you've felt the need to kind of reach out or decompress, what do you do? Who do you reach out to? What do you spend your time doing to escape?
I like spending time with kids. I love football. I like going down Forest, but mainly as I've got older, it was all about drinking and going here, there, and everywhere, and with all your mates and stuff. But as you get children, you just grow up a bit, and all my life is now is my family. I just like my family. You know what I mean? I just love them to bits. I love spending time with my kids because it's not always going to be there. They're growing up now, and it's not going to be. It's only going to be a few years before they're starting to want to do their own thing. They're not going to want to come on holiday with their old dad. So I just like spending time with them at the minute, to be fair. And that's all I'm about, really. I would like to do a bit more on my own, like, I don't know, maybe play golf or something like that. I have to have a bit of time on my own. But at the minute, I don't feel the need to do it. But I'd like to do it at a later date when my kids are offhand or whatever. I think you do need a bit of time for yourself as well. But it doesn't really affect me at the minute not having time to myself. I say my time to myself is at work. I've got time here now where I can think about things because I'm on my own and reflect on things. But yeah, at the minute, it's more so about the kids, to be fair. And they're happy doing what they want to do. I'm having a couple of nice holidays a year, etc. Probably should do a little bit more of that, but yeah, that's it really.
We've talked about kind of low points in your life. Give me the highlight of your life. What's been the highest moment of your life since, becoming a parent? Exclude becoming a parent itself, because that's usually a high point.
I honestly I couldn't answer that.
Okay.
I'm proud of what I've done, my business, etc. But I wouldn't say I've got really, I don't know. You really have put me on the spot there, Steve. I really ain't got a high point to be there. I suppose it's going to come soon.
You've said you're a very kind of overall outwardly positive person. So do you think you're kind of almost always trying to live on a high?
No, I just think from seeing, I wouldn't say I'm like overly positive, right? I think it's been kind of, I've been like made that way because I mentioned I work for my dad and I seen what he brought home and he got really, really stressed, really, really ill about things. I just thought to myself when I was younger, I always wanted to work for myself. Even when I worked for my dad, I wanted to do something myself, which I've done. But when I looked at him getting stressed out about things, and he's given me a lot of advice, my dad has as well, getting stressed out about worrying about money, worrying about employees, and because he had a far bigger business than me, he had employed quite a few people, but he just worried all the time. And I thought to myself, I don't want to do that to myself or let my kids see that. You know what I mean? Because it's not nice to see. And I think I'm very like my dad, but I think he's made me what I am now a little bit more positive and don't get so stressed out about things because I've seen it happen to him.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's my blood, so there might be a point when, again, my dad probably suffers a little bit from mental health, keeps it all to himself, very similar to me. And again, there might be a point when I break, but I kind of look at my dad and think I don't want to come across that way, that stressed. I just don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Perfect sense. All that stress, what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
It's why go through all this? That's the outcome to get what? If you can afford the lifestyle you want out of it, then what's all the stress and panic for? I'll mention my low point, my breaking point, and I wasn't there for long or anything, but when I hit the wall and lost a business and thought the world's going to cave in and end and might lose the house sort of thing, I was in a ball in tears on my kitchen floor when my 3-year-old daughter walked in. That's my moment that you've just described. Not going back there. And what's it all for? I was trying to be the biggest and the best and the blah, 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 blah. Why? Fucking why? Why bother? So, yeah, your point of grow steadily and not have too much. Stress is the word, isn't it? Don't have too much to take home and be all... Because, and forgive me this one, if you were to take that home to your wife, how would she react? She'd be probably worse than she is now. Maybe there's a big something to be said there.
And I probably
do. The reason, yeah.
Sorry.
The reason I tell my wife, that's right. The reason I tell my wife pretty much everything is she's on the journey with me, and she worries more when she doesn't know what's going on. Now everybody's different. That's not a suggestion. But she got it, even though she didn't know what to do either and was upset just as I was. She kind of got the low points. And for me, I'm a bit different to yourself, Shane. A problem shared is a problem halved, and I probably share too much. Anyway, that's my low point, and I'm not going back there for anything. The vision of grandeur is gone. We can afford to go to Disneyland, get some debts paid off. I'll have my little boat next year. That's life sorted. Why push for more? Which sounds like what the stress that you bring home from that when it hits the skids. It's not worth it for me. So,
I think it's really important that everybody does have somebody to talk to. Obviously, Shane, you mentioned that you don't tend to talk to your wife because of you worry about the risk to her mental health with her existing anxiety. But you did mention your dad and he's been through it. Do you talk to him about the business?
At the minute, not, because my mum's going through a lot and he's got a lot on his mind anyway, with all that going off. But yeah, over the years I have, It's like I can't remember what I've talked to him about, but problems with, I don't know, just generally about business. He's helped me an awful lot. I mean, he gave me the money to start some of the business, you know what I mean? But he's been, he kind of said to me, when we were starting out, and this is one thing that's like stuck in my mind, that not to lose control of your business, because he kind of did, because it got big. And again, that might have been a downfall to my business, but it's always stuck with me. Don't lose control of what you've got. You know what I mean? So again, for instance, we could probably employ a sales guy to go knocking doors and getting us loads of business, etc., etc. But I'd lose some of the control of what I've got here. And again, I think that's just ingrained in my brain from what my dad told me, and it's served me well so far. So I just think to myself, just carry on what we're doing. Again, we could grow really, really fast now if we wanted to go down a different route. But me and Mark are quite happy just plodding along. It's ours, you know what I mean? And as you said, Ben, as well, it's not all about having loads of money for me now. Like when I first started out, and I was only 24 when I first started my business. When you first start it, you want everything, don't you? You want
Oh God, yeah.
you want
I was
all the
going to be
money in
Richard
the
Branson
world,
next
and
week.
I'm going to get this and get that. Now I've got kids, and I've got a nice house, and it's not all about money at all. And when you have people close to you that die or dying or whatever, it's not all about money. Big expensive cars don't mean nothing to me. Big expensive houses don't mean nothing to me. I've got a nice house, and I'd like everyone probably love a swimming pool in the garden and all that lot, but it's not the be all and end all if you don't get it. I'd be happy if I could semi-retire, get a camper van, go round Britain and Europe. I'd be well happy with that, and have enough money to live and sort the kids out a few quid every now and again. I'll be happy with that. Don't need no more money than that, to be fair. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Money don't mean everything to me. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's probably why I don't worry about my business so much now. I think to myself, for what myself, me and Mark pay ourselves for the amount of hours we work, if we actually work that out into a wage, if the business went, I'll just go and get a job elsewhere, and I'll be absolutely fine. I'm sure I will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure I will. I wouldn't say that to my wife because she'd probably worry sick that your business is going to then go or something, even though it's not. But I know I'll be fine. I'll be absolutely fine. I've got a working ethic. I like going to work. I do like going to work, whether it's my own business or not. I'd find something that I'd like, and I'd try to do it to the best of my ability. Yeah, that's my way of thinking now. It's not all about money.
Yeah.
Really isn't.
Drive you
As
mad
long as I've
not
got
having something
enough,
on your
I'm
mind. I don't want to burst your bubble, Shane. You might have just broke it to your wife if she listens to this.
Yeah, the two honest to me.
No, I get it. I get where you're coming from. I'm similar page.
I think, though, we have just hit the nail on the head, going back to the fact that, Ben, you talk to your wife about your business. Shane, you've over the years talked to your dad about the business. I think, and Ben, you and I speak quite a lot about, we find that it's really good to talk to somebody about your business that understands your business, or
I
that
think so.
understands what it's like.
Everyone should have a mentor, in my view.
And I think, actually, unbeknown to you, Shane, you do have an outlet, and you have had an outlet. I understand that that's tricky now with what's going on with your mum, but I think that outlet's really important.
Oh, definitely.
Would
definitely.
you agree?
My brother's got I talk to my brother a lot as well. He's got his own business as well. So I have got, I do. Yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
When you don't think of it, it's only when you get put on the spot and asked a question. I talk to my brother quite a lot about it as well, to be fair. So again, he's got his own business. So talking to him today about it, you know what I mean? So yeah, when you look at it that way, I have got an outlet. I do probably have a moan to him about it rather than my wife, you know what I mean? That's,
no, you got to have a bitch and a moan.
Yeah.
This is my therapy. I mean, Stuart knows this. One of the reasons I do this with him, I get things off my chest, and it's my therapy. So we all need that, don't we? The outlet, as you call it.
So, Shane, looking back, is there anything you would have done differently, and if so, what?
Business-wise, probably not. Spending more time with my family, 100%. I wish. Well, saying business life, I should have. Yeah, actually, I would have changed it because I probably wouldn't have worked as many weekends from the off and spent a bit more time with my kids and my family at weekends and stuff. Because you do miss things. You miss them going to birthday parties. And I remember my lad saying to me once, "Are you at home this Saturday, Daddy?" And I went, "Yeah." And he was going, "Yes, yes." And I felt that made me feel really bad. I thought, because I've been working all these Saturdays without me realising that it's affected him a little bit. It is, because he's going, "Yes, oh, brilliant." And I'm thinking, well, I'm only going to sit here at home and watch telly with you, but that's enough. That's enough, innit? It's just spending that time with him.
Yeah.
So that's what I would have changed. If spend a bit more time with them as they're young, because you're never going to get that back.
I mean, you mentioned a little while ago, Shane, how your family's business's stress when you were growing up affected you, and whether good or bad, whatever's going on in your daily and homely lives is doing the same to the next generation, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, I suppose it is. But saying that, my lad's he's pretty like me, and I was pretty like my dad.
Mm.
My dad, I wanted to be my dad and have a successful business, and my dad did. And I suppose I've done it myself. And my lad wants he's only 10, but he's thinking things are mate of trying to make money. So I think he's going to be pretty much like me, to be fair. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know.
That's a good
But
thing. You turned out all
he's
right.
got
It's
more
a
of a
good
brain
thing.
than me, put it that way.
That's a good thing. Yeah. Just takes me back. Oh, the kids selling out of date sweets at school 30 years ago. So, the
Well,
things you do.
he's at the minute with computers, mate, and I do not get computers
Yeah.
or technology. He's making bloody
No, we know.
games and all sorts, mate. So yeah.
Oh, good for him. It's good though. Have that, but get that bug nice and early.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to kind of link those things of that test, what you've said about what you want for the future, you said you're working on plans with Mark, your business partner, to change things so that you can both get more family time. So tell me about what your plans are to actually implement what you said you want to implement around being able to spend more time with your family.
So in the next 3 to 4 years, myself and Mark, we're doing things now. We're getting bigger. As you know, Stu, you've been to my shop. It's not like a retail shop where there's people in it constantly, but we are getting busier and busier. It's becoming more and more of a retail shop. So we can see it doubling in size in the next few years on the retail side of it. So we're becoming more and more of a shop. We're still working. We need to get EPOS systems in and stuff like that. Just making it easier for someone else to, not myself being in the shop all the time, we can employ somebody or a few people and making it easier for us to move away a little bit. But the good thing about me and Mark and being a partnership is that someone's always going to be here. In the next 4 or 5 years, like I say, I want to be in a position where I'm going away for 2 weeks in March, and then I'm going away for 2 weeks in August, and then I'm going away for 2 weeks in November. I'm not in that position now, but I want to be in that position where I can go and do that, and I'll know that for them 2 weeks, Mark's here and he's running it from behind, and there's people here, maybe a few girls or lads that are running the shop where Mark's running the business from behind, like I am. So in the next 3 or 4 years, we're trying to simplify the business basically. So we're doing things at the minute, like I say, things like EPOS systems, dead easy. It's a lot of work to put in, but once they're in, anybody can work here and just scan something and charge something. But at the minute, the way we work is a bit not backward. We're not like a fully retail shop at the minute. You know what I mean? But it's going that way. So myself and Mark have had this discussion a few times, and that's where we both want to be. Have a few more weekends off, or I don't know, do 4 days a week, 4 on, 4 off, or whatever, or 4 on for 4 weeks and then 4 off. I don't know. We want to do that. I don't want to retire because I enjoy it. I enjoy being at work, but I want to just step away from it a little bit. And we've got 4 years to do this. I'm sure we can do it. It's not going to be next year that we start doing this, where we can put these plans into place so we're well able to do it. You know what I mean? I don't want to get to the stage where I'm 65 and can't walk and can't breathe or whatever, and then try and go on holiday and do all these things that I want to do. I want to do them while I'm reasonably young. You know what I mean? If I can, and see what the next 4 years are.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And we are just going to have to kind of wrap up.
Yeah.
But one question we ask everybody that comes on to the show is if there was one piece of advice you could give to another parent who already owns a business or is managing a business, what would that piece of advice be?
Work, balance, life. Spend as much time as you can with your family as well. Look, you've got ambitions. Everyone's got ambitions, but yeah, one thing I wish I would have done was just spend more time. I've just said it again. Spend more time with my family, or spend more time with my wife. Spend more time with my kids. Still do what you've got to do, and you still will do it. It might take you a bit longer than you thought, but yeah, spend more time with your people that you love. That'll be it.
Yeah.
What a great note to end on.
No, that is a great note
It's
to end
all
on.
about the people that you love.
Shane, thank you very much for that.
No worries.
If people want to get in contact with yourself at Fitzmark Workwear, you are in Eastwood, Nottinghamshire. You've got a Facebook page. You're on Facebook, aren't you? That's your main
Facebook and
contact at the
Instagram.
minute.
It's not. Yeah, it's something we're working on. We need that's what we're gonna do as well. We've got to really push that in the next few years and advertising wise. But yeah, we've got a Facebook and Instagram page, so give it a like on there, please.
So yeah, Fitzmark Workwear. If you need any workwear, you need anything custom printing as well, embroidery, you do all of that stuff, I know. So do get in contact with Shane and Mark, and I can vouch for them 100% because Shane, you supply all of my workwear as well, and I have done for a number of years now. And the quality is fantastic, and I will say the customer support is fantastic as well. So thank you very much for coming on the show. Really, really appreciate it. Do make sure you set a date night with your wife, even if that's an at-home date night, and try and get it a regular thing.
Which one of us are you talking to?
Yeah, I know.
Actually, both of you now.
me and you'll go out for a date then.
That's it. Let's do that. We'll go and play golf together.
And on that note, I think it's a really good time to end. So, Mark, again, thank you very much.
Get his name right. His name is fucking Shane. You've only known him a decade.
I keep calling you Mark. Flipping heck, Shane.
All right.
So, on that note,
don't
Shane,
edit that bit out, will you?
Thank you very much.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you for your time.
I enjoyed it, actually.
Good.
Thank you very much for Shane, and we will stay in touch.
Yeah, nice one, lads. See you later. Have a nice night.
Thank you, Shane. And have a nice weekend.
See you later.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Interesting stuff there from Shane, I thought. And really nice that he's just a normal guy going about his business, trying to balance everything. And I suppose recognizing himself that he doesn't always get it perfect, and he maybe needs to spend a bit more time with his wife and family where he can, and he's working towards that.
I mean, we can all have a reassess of where we are and make tweaks, can't we? But he's juggling a lot. It's almost as if I'm off to bed after this. He's off to football training, So hats off.
Yeah.
The amount it fits in his day.
I'll tell you something I heard this past week.
What you heard? Which
was a quote that really resonated, actually. And of all people, it was from Vinnie Jones. Do you remember Vinnie Jones from whatever it is, 90s football?
Yeah, and done a few films, and he Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, he's done a lot of films now. He is now classed more as an actor.
Really?
Had a really interesting life, actually. So I've started watching, and it's a few years old now. He's Vinnie Jones' Country Life, or Life in the Country, or whatever, about him and his house in the country. And he actually opens the first episode saying something like this. I'm paraphrasing slightly. So he says, in this world, it doesn't matter how much money you have, how big your house is, how nice your car is. It doesn't matter. No one gives a shit. And do you know why he was saying that? He was saying that because every day he takes a walk in nature. And what he meant by that was when he goes out into nature and he's looking at the birds and the squirrels, none of that other shit around your life actually matters.
No.
It doesn't matter to them.
The old Greek philosopher Epictetus or something like that. Wealth consists equally of few wants. If you're happy with your little, you're a wealthy man or woman.
I just think he's exactly right. Using nature as a chance to reflect, because no being in nature cares what money you've got, how big your house is, how nice your car is. The birds, the bees, the other animals in the wood do not give a shit.
Only people give a shit are egos and keeping up with the Joneses type mentality. Will max out
Absolutely.
my credit card because my neighbour's doing X, Y, Z and drives this motor and
Yeah. So that kind of really stuck with me, and that was a big reason that I used to spend, and I need to do it more again. Used to spend every day, 20 minutes, half an hour, just going for a walk, just getting out and getting to a place where nobody gives a shit. No one's going to judge you. So yeah.
That's a nice way of looking at it. I mean, we all do a little bit of that, some more than others, but yeah.
I think you're right. I think it is some more than others, but I think we all need to maybe do a bit more of it. So, anywho,
On that
moving
bombshell.
on.
Moving on.
Yeah. What's your plans coming up for the week and the weekend?
Survival.
Talk to me about survival.
Oh, well, kids are off school, and
Yes.
this is where my good lady wife, bless her, turns into a little bit of a saint, because they can be a handful, and not to ship them off anywhere like nursery or granddad's or whatever. It's a bit of a challenge, and it's fell. Like I've got 2-3 problems on this week, so I'm not convinced I'll be able to have an afternoon or a morning here to say, I'll have him, you bugger off for a bit,
Yeah.
I was hoping to, because I'd kind of learnt a little while ago that I should put a bit more effort into doing that, because it is tricky for her. But just be being fucking short-staffed again. And a couple of problems, I'm not convinced I can. But hey-ho, we'll try.
And I suppose, well, I'm just sticking with that. I suppose that's got to take its toll on you a little bit, because you've got those stresses and, of things going on at work when you're desperate to try and get a couple of days off or some time off, an afternoon off to spend with the kids, but also to spend some time allowing a break for your wife from it. And so, yeah, that probably feels pretty difficult.
Yeah, and it's kind of fell at... See, when everything's singing sweetly, as it were, I've got all the time in the world to do that. But we're trying to juggle at the minute renovations on a rental, which has been an absolute fucking horror show, at a time when there's quite a bit on for the factory, but we can't get it out the door. So the way of paying for everything is... The engine is stalling at the minute because we just can't get it out the fucking door.
Yeah.
And that's taking some thought. I did have a bit of an epiphany that I dabbled with a sideline, and I've done a bit here and then nothing, and a little bit and then nothing, and I don't really know what I want to do with it. And it just kind of crossed me earlier on today, what am I bothering? Let's just suck it off. Which, whether I will or not, I don't know, but certainly for the time being, it's back burner and then some, really. So yeah, I need to have a little evaluation on that one, what I do going forward there. But we all get these weeks when it's my turn, that's all. We'll get through it. We've got through worse.
But how's it making you feel in yourself?
You should be a bloody therapist sometimes. How's it?
I have been told that.
I don't know. I don't stop and think how it feels. I just get on with it. Same as everyone else. Same as Shane in his interview. He just... all these issues, and I don't think I bottle it up as much as Shane does. Shane seems to bottle up quite a lot. In fact, there's an element of...
Yeah.
We don't all have to agree, do we? But yeah, I don't tend to bottle things up. I'm quite good at blurting it out. And going back to what you said 2 minutes ago with Vinnie Jones, sometimes upset people, and 9 times out of 10, I couldn't give a hoot. Sort of thing.
Do you think your wife understands how you feel about it?
I don't think I understand how I feel, so
Okay.
She has said listening to this is good for her because she kind of gets an insight into my brain more. I think, well, I've never kept anything from her. Never kept anything from anybody, but equally, I probably don't communicate it very well. Same as 90% blokes out there.
Yeah, blokes aren't good at communication.
No, shit.
And actually, I think your wife listening to this podcast it probably does help, and not because of necessarily the words that you're saying, but the process that she can see that you go through.
Fucking psycho babble again. What? The process I go through.
In terms of how you're approaching things at work and how it's kind of affecting you, you can hear not necessarily just in the words,
Right.
but how you talk about those different things. And that probably helps her understand a bit better. So, yeah, maybe you're starting to talk to your wife through your podcast. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? It's definitely good therapy for me. I've said to a few people. And we've said it on here as well a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
Nobody listened. We're still going to do this.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, moving on then.
Moving on, because I'm struggling with how I feel. I don't bloody know.
Yeah, you're struggling with going a bit deep, aren't you?
I'm not exactly upset or overjoyed, or I've faced bigger challenges. Not anxious about the struggle, because I know I've faced bigger challenges and it'll be fine. I'm not worried about X, Y, Z as such.
Yeah, I think it's quite common for guys in particular to not understand how they feel about things.
I mean, I get bored when I don't have a challenge. I drive myself loopy through not having a challenge.
Yeah.
Genuinely do. So I've got 2 now.
Who?
2, as in one more than one.
What are those 2?
Funding property renovations.
Oh, I see.
And factory output.
Yeah. Okay.
Again.
So you've just given yourself double the problems.
Yeah, I think giving myself, probably not how I'd phrase it. I didn't sit there and say, staff, can you all be poorly just so I've got something to do? You know that blood pressure thing you've got? Boo! It's,
Yeah.
it's not planned.
I think maybe we can unpick this more on our next episode when we've got a little bit longer.
Sure.
Because we are running short on time, I think, now.
Looking forward to that already.
You love it when I psychoanalyze you and ask you all the questions that you're afraid to ask yourself.
Yeah, you just put me on the spot. I don't fucking know half the time.
Yeah.
Can't you ask me something simple like what I had on my pancakes on Shrove Tuesday? That'd be nice.
Oh, Shrove Tuesday. Yes. Well, we'll talk about that next week as well then.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the stuff, they don't have to get round to my feelings. I'm a bloke, I don't have feelings.
Right then, I think then it's time to wrap up.
Okay.
And we will end this show. And if you've enjoyed the show at all, enjoyed the interview that we had with Shane, the chat we had with him, and all of that sort of stuff, and maybe it's helped, don't forget to subscribe wherever you do listen. And do please leave us a comment, leave us a review, get in touch, tell us about how you balance your parenting business. And do recommend this to others because, yes, we might have had 2,000 interactions, but we want to have more people listening, more people engaging, and more people coming onto the show. Don't forget, you can email us at podcast@parentingbusiness.com. And I think it's time to now say we will see you next Thursday.
We shall. And if anybody wants to write in with their feelings on any particular subject so you don't have to do mine next week, that would be greatly appreciated.
Bye, Ben.